What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration higher. And I missed your beautiful face. It's been a long time. No see. Ooh, there's your first one. It's fun. I really did miss you guys. And I've been burning to make a video for so long. Believe me. But I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo rising. It's quality over quantity. And man, it has been a bumpy ride, guys. I know you live on Earth just like me, but man, we have some catching up to do. There's been so much happening in the astrology, so much happening in the middle world as well. So I just want to run you guys through it because there's so many changes. If you are down to clown and you're feeling the vibes, getting high already, I want you to hit that like button and I want you to leave me a comment because today is May 21st and that's going to mean that this is the first day of Gemini season. We're 2/3 of the way through spring. So if you are a Gemini, throw it in the comments. Let me know. Do you have placements in Gemini? Let me know. What house is in Gemini? If you don't know what I'm talking about, drop your astrology sign in the comments. Just let me know. Let's get some interaction. That's how YouTube works. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So basically, I'm going to run you through the astrology. I'm going to just rattle it off the top of my head. Here you can see it. And then we're going to peel back layer by layer and talk about what this might mean for you. So I hope you are down to clown. Today, the sun is at 0 degrees Gemini. And if you think about it from Earth's geocentric perspective, if you really were to look through the sun, Gemini would be right behind it. Don't look through the sun, but there's 0 degree Gemini for the sun. As I'm filming this, the moon is at 29 Gemini, and that's just crazy. So we just had our new moon in Taurus, which was beautiful. It was much needed. It was peaceful, quite nice. We have Mercury at 7 degrees Taurus, direct, going through its post shadow. We've got Venus at 15 degrees Cancer. Mars is at 0 degrees Leo, very opposite Pluto. We'll talk about it. Jupiter, 1 degree Taurus. Saturn, 6 degree Pisces. Uranus at 19 Taurus. Neptune at 27 Pisces. And then we've got Pluto at 0 Aquarius. And the North Node, South Node, Taurus, Scorpio, 2 degrees, respectively. So what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. These are the right questions. So before I go any further, I want to drop a little bit of sauce on you and just remind you about the principle of correspondence before we really get any further. The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. And now that I have your attention, just remember that as above, so below. And so within, so without. But what you can really apply through that principle is the physical characteristics of any celestial object are going to really reflect its energetic qualities, the character, and even the psychological application of how you experience these things in your chart. So, for example, the sun gives us life, it gives us energy, we need it to survive, and we actually revolve within its sphere. I don't know if I just broke your, geocentric model, but now we are going around the sun. So are all the other planets, and this is the basic astronomy. If I'm catching you up, cool. If it's remedial, my bad. But either way that goes, you're just going to want to see, the reason I bring this up, is that the sun in your chart, like whatever your birthday happens to be, that's going to be how your fixed pillar works and what kind of energy you are building from that. How are you seeing the world? How is your life force being directed outward? But either way that goes, no matter what day you were born. Right now, the sun is in front of Gemini. So operatively, what that's going to mean is the way that we are giving life, the way that we are acting, the way that our conscious is working is using Gemini energy. And what the hell does that mean? Okay, let's break it down layer by layer. So Gemini is really about air, the elements. It's really about the mind. Everybody has Gemini in the chart. Everybody has Mercury. That's the home planet. And this is really the power of the mind, which in a lot of ways is subtraction. To be able to use the left brain and to draw conclusions and connections. And after figuring out what isn't, you can figure out what is. Math is a very objective science. In some schools of thought, this might be the only hard science that exists. And to distinguish hard science from soft science, hard means empirical, soft means subjective, So there's something to think about. But either way we go with that, it's just going to say that the 30 days of Gemini, what we could really expect is to be a little bit more excited. Gemini is all about thinking, communicating, processing and disseminating. So no matter what your life is actually filled with, you're going to be approaching it from a more mental perspective. And this is going to mean a lot more mental activity. You may have a desire to communicate a little bit more. So it's only right and appropriate that I end my hiatus on Gemini number 0. So that's cool. But this tells me that there's a desire to take action and curiosity is high. And this is going to mean that stimulation is going to be satisfying and very easy to find. And we may need to slow down. Something to think about. That's the messages I've been getting intuitively. And I do have tarot cards and divination tools, and I am a divination tool, but either way, I could just say that slow down, and you may speed up a little bit. You may have a great time. How can you get a load off your back? That's a good question. Working smarter, not harder. And that's what Gemini is really all about, is drawing conclusions. And sometimes when two heads are better than one, we can find something fun, or we can go about the same boring thing in a better way. And that can be a beautiful day. Hey, should I quit astrology and just become a rapper? So get excited. If you're a Gemini, this means that you should be feeling yourself, and it should be time for you to maybe just be you and feel you. This is a great time to write, to communicate, to organize your ideas. And I would really encourage everybody to organize your immediate environment, clean your house. It is spring. Do that spring cleaning. Organize the environment so your mind is going to be decompressed as well. And I think that's kind of brilliant. What do you think? Like, I haven't done these in a while. Usually if I'm on, guys, I'm doing it on live, so it's an instant interaction, and I'm a little bit, I'm in my element, but we're getting the dust knocked off, right? So shout out to the air element. We're not going to talk about the moon, because by the time you see this video, you are going to be in a different moon sign. But we're going to talk about Mercury, which is really the ruler of Gemini, and we've been talking about it. Mercury really governs how we think and analyze and communicate. And not all communication is verbal, but when this is Taurus, the earth sign, this really talks about logic and common sense, and kind of selectively filtering out anything that doesn't really feel real to you. What is it worth? I just happen to be holding this. The intrinsic value. What can we do with this? Slow that down. Make that make sense to me. I feel like with Taurus, Mercury retrograde, now that it's over and we're kind of getting back direct, a lot of us might be seeing the value of doing things the easy way and finding the mode of least resistance. And I think that's very beautiful. That's very amazing. We got a lot going on in Taurus, guys. So what's good? I hope you're seeing it. For real. It's really not about working harder to work harder. That's hustling backwards. You want to work smarter and then work as hard as you damn well please. But if you are just working hard for the sake of working hard, you can find yourself being the busiest person in the motherfucking world and the least productive. And I would hate to see that be you, man. Boo-hoo. That's not fun. Hey, the Virgo risings know exactly about that. But can we prioritize peace? Can we do that? Please? That was really what this Taurus stellium in the sky kind of just said, was like, damn, are y'all drinking enough water? Are you spending time outside? Are you getting vitamins? How is your diet? You know, to change your output from life, you have to change your input. So what are you consuming? And are you nourishing yourself? Mira said, really, ask yourself, what the hell are you eating? You know, she's been eating good. Shout out to my cat. I know this is a tough pill to swallow, so I'll take one with you, don't worry. But guys, for things to change for you, you have to be the one to change, right? So what are we going to do to make things different moving forward? I hate to spoil the book and spoil the ending, guys, but I'll substantiate as we go. Really, it's about how can you bring more peace into being? How can you have more faith in life itself? How can you have more faith in yourself itself? And the things that you can control is where you want to start. And I would start with that diet or that routine in the way that you spend your time, because time is the most priceless jewel. When you are spent, you are not buying that shit back, okay? So we're going to make the most of it on my Saturn Taurus. Please listen with your heart and your soul, because Venus is in Cancer. We could talk about that. This is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. And it's kind of funny how the transits right now are kind of just peeling back layer by layer as we go. So Venus and Cancer, man, this is beautiful. Venus is all about how we love and how we relate to self and others. And then that is going to be the basis for the values that we hold and the ideals we create. And Venus within the sign of Cancer says, it feels good to be home, y'all. It feels good to be comfortable and just chill and to spend time by your damn self or around people that love you, that you can trust, people that you feel safe with. That's the beauty of Venus and Cancer. This also talks about nostalgia and how good it feels to remember the past. It is funny because Venus ingress during the Mercury retrograde. So I don't know about you guys because I've been MIA for a minute, but you may have seen some sneaky people come up from your past to say, what's good? I missed you. I don't know why now's the time, but I'm just feeling like I want to talk to you and have you in my life. You know, they might realize that joy that they experienced back then and the model and dwelling they have in the past that prevents them from experiencing joy in the present moment. And that shit's kind of rough, so don't fall for it. Oh, God. Don't fucking fall for it, man. Oh, so really, I just want to say, guys, because it's a lot to fill you guys in with. These have been tests. These have been initiations for everybody. We've all been experiencing this shit, so I hope that you are remembering your true responsibility as a human on Earth, as a spirit piloting a body. Mirror says, please listen. Come here, baby. You have one responsibility, and everything under this is going to be secondary or extracurricular. You are only required to give love a chance to grow. Okay? Look at her little garnet, y'all. Oh, my God. Thanks, baby. Oh, my goodness. All you have to do is give love a chance to grow. If you do that, man, everything else is bonus. Okay? So just remember that. But for love to exist, truth must be present. So you're going to have to be honest with yourself. And you're going to have to see things for what they are as opposed to what you really want them to be. Sometimes. That law of assumption is powerful. The law of attraction is powerful. But at what point is it actually denial rather than faith? Hey, these are the questions, guys, but you actually want to know how to, you actually want to know the answer when you ask these to yourself. You actually want to know. Okay. So shit, man. What I'm hearing, what I'm hearing is this funny? I don't know. Your fear holds your keys to your growth. I was barely looking at it, but I just felt this energy, man. The fear that you have holds the keys to your growth, and it holds your power and your next step on the road to completion. And fear won't destroy you. And it's crazy that we're 13 minutes. That's divine timing. So Venus in Cancer does look like revisiting the past, everybody. And what was crazy is we just had Mars finish its transit of Cancer. And Mars took a long time to be in Gemini because of the retrograde last year. And then when it got to Cancer, it kind of flew by for a Mars transit. But I will say that Mars does not like to be in Cancer. Take it from somebody who has Mars and Venus and Cancer in their chart every day of their life. While this is great for Venus, this shit is a little bit contentious for Mars. It's a little bit touchy, sensitive. Family issues come up during these transits. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I will say with these two planets transiting through Cancer, the planet of love and value, and then the planet of desire and intention, a lot of us have finally found out what feels good and how to feel more comfortable and how to find deeper love. And that's beautiful. But sometimes you have to find what you don't want to find what you want. So I will just say for a lot of people, these transits have been a little bit frustrating, the Mars Cancer, and taken a lot of energy to deal with our frustrations or our pain or our resentment or our anger. You know, so there is a surrendering. And we just finished Taurus, of course, so that just means that I don't know what your 30 days of Taurus was like, but if it was like being exhausted and taking time just to chill and do not much, that sounds like Taurus under Venus and Mars in Cancer. But today, we have Mars going through the sign, oh my goodness, Mary, we have Mars going through the sign of Leo. And this is really great. It is actually your time to shine. It's time for you to focus on yourself. It's time for you to be the center of your life and really fulfill your needs, build your character the way that you wish to be in this world. And that in itself will give you a basis of operating as the leader you wish to be. And who doesn't want that? But it starts with you, truly. And what's really cool is Mars is opposite Pluto in the celestial orb right now from Earth's perspective, you know. And what that's going to look like is a lot of tension and transformation and things being severed and destroyed from this world. I mean, yeah, it's really that deep, and it's also not that deep. But at the same time, you know, you may be seeing more willpower with this ingress. You may be seeing the desire to really go after what you feel is yours and not let anything stop you. Alternatively, what I have also seen, because this all really, when it comes down to Mars and Leo, it really depends on the condition of the sun. The sun in transit and the sun that your ass has got every day, the character you choose to build. So while this might make you excited and really fulfilled with yourself and really passionate about your future, this could also make you very scared, very insecure, very self-defeating, and very jealous and envious of other people. So I would just choose not to do that, man. You know, a lot of these emotions operate on a spectrum. So if you do feel jealousy or envy of others, just recognize that feeling being a message from yourself that you desire what you don't have and you're reflecting it through others. Take that as a sign it exists for you. If it's fear, self-doubt, take that as a sign that you have control over the character you're building. So just start there before you start trying to put external leverage in the world, rather than adjusting you so your actions and reactions will be different. Just something to think about. I hope that helps. I hope that's making sense, because it's a little bit more broad, a little more esoteric. But what I think is really cool, because for real, I could try to go deeper into that, Leo, but at the same time, it's really about you. So fuck am I talking about that for? You know you better than I do, so take time to know that. I do want to say thank you to everybody who took advantage of the discounted readings. We have been slammed, and that's good. We've been enjoying the piece too. So thank you guys for the love and support, who've been taking time with me to get to know yourself as well. Even if it's through this video, if it's through the content, the lives, whatever it is, I just appreciate you guys being here, okay? So we got Jupiter ingressing into Taurus. And the reason this is really cool, guys, is because Jupiter takes about 12 years to go through the whole zodiac. So roughly 1 year per sign. And now we got about a year roughly of Jupiter in Taurus. And Jupiter expands and grows. And when you look at yourself, your Jupiter is really going to do the same thing, but operatively more in your right brain, in your intuition, and how you feel faith for life, or how you understand your spirituality, or how cosmology is built in your being, your life, you know, how you did that. So when Jupiter goes through Taurus, or Jupiter goes anywhere there's Taurus, Mercury is still in his shadow. When Jupiter goes anywhere, there's growth. And when we go through Taurus, this looks like growth on the planet, because Earth rules Taurus. So, you know, this is going to be really about the Earth, is one thing I was divining. Really, the only way to predict the future is to create it, or to be so good at pattern recognition that you don't have to create that shit, you know? So when it goes to this one, ecology is the word. We got to take care of the mother so the mother can take care of us. Metaphorically speaking, I'm talking about planet Earth Gaia, you know, the one that gives the orb, you know, the orb. So please, this year, set an intention and take a little more time to connect with nature, because nature provided you with life. So reconnecting to the source will further sustain and nourish the life that you're living. So just remember that, okay? It's simple, but it's so profound. And you may already be feeling this pull unconsciously to get more involved with the Earth and the planet. But this looks like financial growth. This looks like abundance. This looks like prosperity. Because what this would do is expand a couple things. Like, I'm trying to be a little more neutral, guys, but it would expand our acquisition of things. And this would also expand our sense of belonging. And that's good. It's going to make us maybe more consumerist. So I would encourage everybody to take time to use this transit to understand your true values and I'm a second house Libra, so I'm kind of projecting on you guys, but I would just say that I value peace more than anything in the world. And I think that's the most priceless jewel that you can't even buy with money. So if you make that your priority, life is going to get more and more beautiful for you automatically. And, you know, if anything costs your peace, whether that's a person, that's a thing, that's a place, that's a job, a circumstance, situation, if it costs your peace, it's too expensive. I think I said this shit earlier in this video, guys, because I say this damn near every time I create content or go live because it's almost necessary, but I feel like a broken record. If truth is not present, love doesn't exist. So realistically, with Pluto going into Aquarius, while Uranus is in Taurus, guys, the most valuable currency moving forward in this world will be truth. Mark my words, man. If you're listening, remember that shit for the rest of your life, because I'm not kidding. These are principles. So Saturn is in Pisces. This shit takes a long time, you know? So like, no rush. Build your dreams. Take it a day at a time. Unburden yourself from the barriers and the binding of belief. Do your beliefs support you? Do you believe you will succeed, or do you believe you will fail? Saturn in Pisces said that if you can take these next couple years, 2 to 3 years, to get intimately familiar with how the law of assumption works in your life, you will be the wizard when Saturn goes into Aries. Probably would have put your will into the world already. So it's just about living that. The thing that you need to know about Saturn and Pisces is whatever you imagine, you can create. So what's crazy is the universe is kind of like looking at your imagination. I just saw an image like your imagination is you playing on the computer, but the universe is looking behind you on the computer. And, you know, let's say that it was a classroom setting. So by watching what you do in the video game, the universe therefore would give you new lessons, modules, curriculum, and other games that in some way correlate, connect, or build upon, or differ from what you're experiencing. So some of y'all get exactly what you don't want just because you pay too much attention to it. And that's God's honest truth, and it sucks. Imagination is a human superpower. And whether you realize it or not, you're imagining all day long, constantly. You are. So be intentional about the powers that you are given. Because you can create anything in this world. And you do get what you pay for. So don't pay for bullshit. I said this shit before. I will say it over and over and over and over again until the day I D-I-E and reincarnate. R-E, I can't, no, fuck it. Into a new body. Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. Create your life's work. Create your purpose. We're invoking the air element to clear that shit out of here, man. A lot of this shit is unconscious. A lot of this shit comes from the environment. It comes from the world that we inherit. It comes from the environment. How many things were you inheriting when you came into this life that you didn't even know about? And Saturn in Pisces also says that, like, the things that you don't know about are still real. Like, and they can affect you. Whoa. How crazy is that? But there's a lot of peace, and there's going to be a lot of release. Messages indeed. A lot of change. What I think is so crazy, guys, is that, you know, there's either one consciousness, or if there isn't, you're still the only consciousness you're ever going to experience in your life. So realistically, what's beautiful about you is the fact that you add significance to life by being yourself and being different. Like, I think that shit is so damn hard, like, in the most beautiful way. So when you take time to get to know yourself through your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, and the environment that you've chosen to be in as a soul, if you really listen to the messages, no matter how painful or hard they are, and you allow truth and love to come into being, you're going to end up finding purpose because it's going to be the thing that you want to do. It brings you forward and it calls you. We have heavy Jupiter energy with Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. So I'm just encouraging you, even though I feel like I've said this before, you can really build whatever the fuck you want to build in life as long as you take your time and believe it and make the steps necessary to achieve it. And that sounds like such bullshit woo-woo motivational speech, but at the same time, put that shit to the test, man. I think the hardest part that kind of comes from this is the Leo energy. As I'm looking at this astrologically, is that like a lot of times, man, a lot of us don't have the humility to roll with the punches when it comes to having a huge dream or a huge goal. Like if you're a visionary, it's hard to have a vision and to want to uphold a world that doesn't exist and have to show up every day for yourself and things of that nature. So what I encourage you guys, if you're feeling me and following me, is don't ever compromise on your goal. Just allow your character to adjust as necessary along the way, and you will always be pleased and proud of yourself for the work that you've done. But either way that goes, man, when Black Moon Lilith is in Leo, as it is right now, I just need you to never wait a second of your life to wait for someone else to give you love, attention, praise, or admiration that you deserve. Give that shit to your damn self because you have the ability. It feels very good to be loved by you. So find out what that's like. How big is your heart? How big is your magic? Let me know. Prove that shit, you know? Because it's cool to have you guys love, but at the same time, it's the love for the self that we need that'll bring us all together in this age of Aquarius. With Pluto under Aquarius, with Chiron and Aries, it's really about your will exists in this world. And if you don't believe that, you won't find it. And you will just subscribe kind of unconsciously, but at the same time, still deliberately subscribe to nihilism. And that shit's not fun. That's not helping anybody out, guys. Life is important and life matters. And that's actually the message of Saturn and Pisces. Is that if you can't conjure faith for life itself, and I know I'm so blessed with my Jupiter Pisces, quite honestly, it's really a gift. And you have gifts too, but it's like if you can't conjure that faith for life, man, it's going to be a bumpy ride, man, because you're having an experience here. You're having a gift. And I don't know if it's, and I don't care if it's the most painful ride of your life or it's terrorizing and traumatizing and you don't understand it. That's still a gift, man. It's still a gift. So I encourage you to rise above, but still just take it in. What I love about Pisces is it's so mutable. This is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's going to say that, you know, while all this shit is getting so real in life, you just need to recognize it for what the fuck it is. That's a wave in the ocean. That's a drop in the bucket, actually. How big is the bucket? Is it really a bucket? Are there any sides? Where is the perimeter? I used to not feel this way because I have a third house Pluto in Sagittarius, but now I feel like it's such a beautiful gift for us to have language to talk about shit like this. Because if I'm making sense to you and you've experienced something like this, man, you're never alone. I can say that much. No matter where you go, you're never alone in this universe. And you are loved and you do matter. I promise you. I want to thank the spirit of hemp. It's a very Saturn herb. So just take that for what it's worth. Be intentional with everything you do. It's a very Saturn herb. So with the next couple years of Saturn and Pisces, don't beat yourself up, man. We don't need you beating yourself up. Because everything is mind. The first Hermetic principle, everything is energy. And your energy affects everything. So just remember to be loved. Remember to be peace. I said loved on accident. Remember to be love. And remember to be peace. Because the way you treat yourself is the way you treat the world. And sometimes we aren't shown properly how to love ourselves, and that is really a painful experience. Or we are deliberately taught not to love ourselves, and you have to unlearn that, and that's even harder of an experience. No matter what the fuck you're going through, I fucking see and feel you, and I am riding for you on your quest of self-love, which is your path of initiation into self and purpose and freedom. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world. So I really love and appreciate you if you made it this far in this video, because feel like I'm talking your ear off, but I take so much time and care to be impeccable with that word. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Tapping with your boy. I would love some comments. That's really what I want the most, quite honestly, is I just want to engage with you guys. Marty, richest man in the world, man. And the luckiest one, too. And it's crazy with this Leo energy, guys. I'm realizing I'm the most beautiful one, too. Like, wow. I look in the mirror and I'm like, who the fuck is he? And can I get his number? Like, damn. But you have control of your self-concept, if that was a message. So I love you. Take time to speak love and life into yourself because you deserve it. Blessed be, blessed we. Yes, indeed. Take it easy.